Hello? Hello? I'm here to make a guide on working at Freddy Fazbear's. I'm currently running out of time. It is night 5, and I only have 30% power left. I unfortunately don't think I'll be able to make it. So, I decided to make a guide of what I've learned so far to help anyone else who would be working at this eating establishment. So, I don't really have that much time, so let's get into it. Welcome to Freddy Fazbear's. I have a list I'll be reading off of, so let's get into it with my first tip, and that is conserving power. To conserve power, you must always use minimalistic anything, including lights, doors, or even looking at your camera. Now, I know it might seem like a daunting task not keeping your eyes on the animatronics at all times, but if you don't want to be put into one of those animatronic suits, I advise you listen to this rule. Here's a few tricks on how to pull that off. Now, instead of just using your camera to keep your eye on the animatronics, try to use your camera quickly to figure out where the animatronics might appear next, and use that to your advantage. Use the lights to flicker where you think they may be, and if you were to see them, close those doors. Once those doors are closed, flicker on the lights, and if you see the shadow of them, keep them closed. But as soon as the shadow disappears, you may open the doors once again. Keep in mind, keeping the doors closed is one of the worst things you can do to your power gauge, so make sure you check those shadows often. Now, tip 2. Freddy Fazbear himself. Now, Freddy tends to sneak in the right door and screaming at you at a random time, not really knowing when he could scream at you, not even knowing when he sneaks in. It's rather difficult. Now, here's how you can hopefully prevent against that. Whenever you quickly look at your camera, if you see that Freddy is sort of getting closer to you, start flicking those lights and start closing the door more often on the right side. Try to, of course, keep the right door open as long as you can, as to conserve power. Freddy's persistence really spikes at the 4th night, so be careful. Alright, tip 3. Pirate Cove, or Foxy. Now, Foxy is quite a unique character in a way that, instead of, like all the other animatronics, slowly coming to your room, he sneaks out of a curtain, and not looking at him enough can make him jump out and start running at you. Now, in that case, close the left door as quickly as you can. Though, when he pounds on the door, you'll lose about 10% of power. Averagely, that's a small price to pay for your life. Now, here's how to prevent him from popping out and making you lose 10% power. Keep checking in on him very quickly. You don't even have to look at him for a long time. Just peek up on him, and if he should be still in his curtain. Now, if he were to be in a sort of sprinting position, that's a bad thing. You better start watching your back, if that were to happen. And my 4th and should be final tip is Bonnie and Chica. Now, these animatronics are sort of a little bit less aggressive in a way. Not saying they'll be more gentle on you when they try to shove you into an animatronic, but as in they try to sneak in a much slower fashion. When you see them coming towards you, start flickering those lights. If you see them even remotely close to your door, quickly shut the doors. If they stare at you for too long, they'll sneak in the room, and let's just say good things do not happen when they sneak in, similar to Freddy. And it looks like that's the end of my tips. Now, I have one more tip. Do not work at Freddy Fazbear's.